Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the webinar today. And today's topic is how to motivate your employees, especially your millennial employees. And we have a lot of people online here today, and the webinar is being recorded in multiple ways. So let's just get started because today's webinar is going to be jam-packed with information. All right. So you are a leader now. You have employees. You have always been a high achiever, a high performer. You have always been highly motivated. But now you have employees, and your job, a big part of your job is to make sure your employees are motivated. You need to motivate your employees so they are also high performers and high achievers. And you put your hair out and wondering, so how do I motivate others? I know I'm motivated. I know I'm a high achiever. I'm a good performer. But how do I get good performance out of other people? How do I motivate other people? How do I get other people to be as motivated as me? Good question. And that's what we are going to be talking about today. All right. So has anyone here tried to motivate other people using what will motivate yourself? Does it always work? Not necessarily. Quite often, no. All right. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm the boss here. Okay. I'm the chief executive officer, and you guys are all my top ranking leaders. You guys are all my top performers. And I gathered you at a meeting, and I say to you guys, hey, listen, guys, you guys are doing really, really well. And if we are on track, if we do this good, we're gonna not only hit but exceed our target. And if we exceed our target and do such a good job this year, then we have decided, the upper management have already decided, we're gonna fly all of you, the entire team to Hawaii, to Vegas, depends on where you are, right? I'm sure all of you be like, yeah, great. I'd love to go to Hawaii. I'd love to go to Vegas. And then imagine I went on to say, so we're going to go to Hawaii, we're going to go to Vegas, and we are all going to play golf. I'm sure some of you would love to play golf. You like it, you enjoy it, it's one of your passions. But for many, many of you, playing golf is, well, let's say, not your passion, not your hobby, not something you would do. As a matter of fact, I would gamble that for many, many of you, the last thing you want to do is to play golf. And the last thing you would do is to play golf with your chief executive officer or your boss. So that is an example of someone, in this sense, the CEO, trying to motivate other people using what's going to motivate himself, what motivates himself. And it's probably not a motivator for everyone on his team. And as a matter of fact, next year, some of his team members may, let's just say unknowingly reduce their performance just so they can avoid having to play golf with the boss. Okay? Now, let me give you another example. Let's say we have 200 people on an airplane flying from Los Angeles to New York City on the same flight. Are they all going from Los Angeles to New York City for the same reason? No, right? Person A might live in Los Angeles and he's gone to New York City for a vacation. Person B actually lives in New York City and he came to Los Angeles for business. Now he's on his way back home. Person C might live in Los Angeles and he is actually changing flight in New York City to continue on to London to visit his family. So there are 200 people on an airplane from Los Angeles to New York, but they go in there for 200 different reasons. So you have got to motivate people using what is going to motivate them, not what's going to motivate you, right? You heard of start with a why? That's a very good idea. Start with the why. But you have got to start with their why, not your why. Your why may or may not motivate another person. It might even turn another person off. Okay? So speaking of their why, what do you think is the thing that makes people tick? What do you think is the thing that people think about all day long? What do you think is the thing that's people's number one concern? You the boss? You think all your employees, all they think about is the well-being of their boss? They think about you all day long. You the boss, you the manager. They think about what can they do to make your life better. Well, it would be nice, and I'm sure some of the rather successful ones, they do understand it would be beneficial if they thought about what bothers you, because they're smart enough to understand success is about creating win-win situations. All right, but for the overwhelming vast majority of employees, what do you think their number one concern is? Employees, workers, experts, people, Homo sapien, cats and dogs, horses, cows, trees, grass, anything that's alive. What do you think is their number one concern? You the manager? You the boss? The employer? No. Their number one concern is themselves, not you, not anyone else. It's themselves, right? It only makes sense biologically, right? And then for those of us with kids, right? The minute our first kid was born, we become number two. And our kid become our number one concern. It makes biological sense, right? Otherwise, our species would have come to an end a long time ago. So people's number one concern is what's in it for me, for themselves. You might want to write this down. WIIFM, radio station WIIFM. What's in it for me? So the key to effectively, successfully motivate other people is to figure out what is the what's in it for me, for them, and then utilize that information to create win-win situations between you and the person you're trying to motivate. That's how you motivate other people. All right. So let's look into why do people come to work? What are the reasons? What's in it for me for people to actually want to get up in the morning, fight traffic to come to work? So here are some rough ideas, just some examples to illustrate, okay? This is by no means complete and exhaustive. It's just a bunch of ideas to get your mind going. So for starters, there is the money today versus money tomorrow, okay? This is just within money. This is just, those who come to work for money. There's money today versus money tomorrow. The money today is pay me every Friday, and as long as you pay me, I'm happy. But then there's the money tomorrow. There is, it's good. It's a given that you need to pay me. I need to get paid every Friday. Pay me today, but I need to earn money tomorrow. So how is this particular job helping me to earn money tomorrow? Helping me to earn more money tomorrow? How is you, the boss? How is this company, this job, even this task helping me to earn more money tomorrow? Making it easier for me to earn money tomorrow. Now we're talking. Now, within the money tomorrow camp, there are two different approaches. There is the job security approach, and then there is the career security approach. A typical example of a job security approach is folks who would go get a unionized job in which it's, I wouldn't say impossible, but I would say it's relatively difficult to get terminated. Another approach within job security is what I would call castle building. All right. So there may or may not be a union, but you would notice that individuals would start building castles with a moat all around it and with crocodiles in the moat. So they may engage in things like building systems, be it business process systems or software systems or accounting systems, whereby without them, the system will not operate. So you have to get their signature. You have to get the key that only they have access to the filing cabinet. Or they build a computer system, so they're the only person who knows how to use it. And that is what I call a castle building approach to job security. Opposite of job security, we have career security. One example of the career security approach is the individual will learn a highly specialized skill. And then that skill is in high demand, like computer engineering, electronic engineering, computer programming, even accounting, even specialized tax accounting, maybe medicine, even specialized nursing or law or what have you, okay? Anything that requires a lot of formal schooling, a lot of certification, being a brainiac, and that kind of stuff, all right? And another approach is building and gaining industry experience. And they're interested in gaining industry knowledge, industry experience, industry connection, having a lot of knowledge and wisdom, secret insights about how this industry operates. Maybe like a salesperson or something like that, like maybe a real estate broker. And they are into this kind of approach to secure their future income. All right. So we talked about money, right? And there's money today, money tomorrow. And then there's between money and then family. For some employees, feeding their family is the most important thing, even though they would love to spend time with their family. But that to them is a luxury they wish they could afford. Maybe they got a whole bunch of kids and they are the sole breadwinner. They're the only person working. If they don't work, if they lose their jobs, nobody's eating. So they would say things like, I got a bunch of kids and I got my spouse. I love my family very much. I would love to see them, but I don't get to see them as much as I do, as much as I would like to, because I'm always stuck here working. Because if I don't, and there are 20 people lined up to get my job, and each and every one of them is more motivated than me for their own reasons. And if I lose this job, then my family is not eating. So I have no choice but to prioritize earning money Other employees, they might put family first and earning money second. Maybe they are not the only breadwinner in the household. Maybe they have earned enough money in the past. Maybe they don't have a huge family to feed. Maybe they don't have a lot of financial liabilities. Maybe they have a pension from maybe their service in maybe in the military or something in the past. So to them, money is necessary, but not such a high priority because either their expenses is low or maybe they have income from somewhere else. So they would choose to spend time with their family as their number one priority, and then earning money is only their second highest priority. Some employees are committed to their current location, current city. All right. Maybe it's because they have kids going to school and then they must stay here until their kids finish school. And that's going to be another year or another 10 years or another 5 years. So they made a commitment. So if you give them a promotion that will require them to say, spend more time travel, the morning and afternoon commute becomes 2 hours each as opposed to just 1 hour each, not because of distance, but because of traffic. And they may not be able to, or they may find it extremely challenging to adapt. Because they have made their commitment to the location, to the city. And another example is maybe employees are committed to certain hours for whatever private or family reason, be it they're taking care of some family member who is having a medical condition, or they might need to drop their kids off at school and then pick their kids up from school. So to them, giving them the hour that they deserve or they require or they want is their number one priority. All right, so we talked about money today versus money tomorrow. We talked about money versus family. And then there is the money versus meaningful work. All right, to some employees, they don't care about the meaning of their work. This is what I do. I just work here and I do this for the paychecks. And then everything else also works out. The location, the time, the whatever. So the level of stress. So this is all I am going to invest. All right, I don't care about anything else. But then to other employees, they care about the meaning of their jobs to themselves. And remember, what's meaningful to one person, it's not necessarily meaningful to a different person. Some employees want uneventful work life. They want nothing exciting happening at work. Other employees, they can't stand boredom. They get bored easily. They need challenge. They need excitement at work. And also, what is exciting to one person is not necessarily exciting to a different person. Some employees crave recognition, and then some employees crave a voice recognition. Some employees crave public recognition. Some employees crave private recognition. If you recognize them in public, they would shy and then they would reduce their performance just to avoid being praised publicly. And some employees want recognition for how smart they are. Some employees want recognition for how kind, how loving, how considerate they are. And you got to observe all of this and take all of this into consideration. And some employees are attention seeking. Okay, some employees are attention avoiding. Some employees, all they need is attention from the people they want to get their attention from. For example, their bosses or their peers. And that's what's going to motivate them. Just a bit of attention from their boss will make their day, will make their week. And then if you don't give them attention, they'll just, but if you just give them attention, you just pat them on the back once in a while, let's say once a week or what have you. And that's what they live for. Okay? They may not necessarily understand or comprehend that's what they are, right? And you don't need to point that out to them. But these are all the things that you need to master as the leader who is good at motivating other people. You need to figure out what is the motivating factor for other employees, for other people, period. And also, okay, different stages in the progression of life, that also plays a big factor. Is the employee single, married with no kids, married with kids, single with kids, with young kids, teenage kids, kids off hands, grandparents, right? All of this, domestic situations, different domestic arrangements, whatever the situation is, they all come into play in the employee's motivation in whether they want to come here and give you a good day of good performance, or they would come here, clock in, clock out, and do mediocre work, or they hate having to come in at all, too. They hate having to come in at all so much they would come here and sabotage. So you got to take all of this into consideration. And it is vitally important, all right, that you think beyond just money. You got to think beyond those motivators that's beyond money. every employee has motivators that's beyond the paycheck. And if you want to be a good, effective leader, an effective motivator, you need to figure out what is the beyond cash, beyond paycheck motivation. Those hidden motivators that's at people's subconscious level. For each and every one of you employees, everybody, every individual is uniquely different. No two people on your team, no two people anywhere on the planet are identical in every way. Not even twin brothers, not even twin sisters. All right, so it's your skill. It's a big part of your leadership skill is to figure out what is the individual unique motivation. What makes each and every individual tick? What makes them jump out of bed in the morning? What makes them staying awake at night, having insomnia? What makes them not want to get out of bed in the morning? What makes them want to go that extra mile? What makes them not want to go that extra mile? What makes them want to go home at 4:59? What makes them look at the clock and say, is it 5 o'clock yet? You got to figure all of these things out. All right? And you really have to go beyond the transaction into what I would call the validation. Get out of the transactional and get into the validational. There's some craving in here that they crave, and they will do anything to obtain, to get. Or there are things that they're so afraid of, they don't want to have that, or they don't want those things to happen to them. They would do anything to avoid having that happen to them. What are those things? And it is your skill as a master motivator to figure all of this out. Allow me to use consumer spending behavior just to give you some clues. When you sell things, right, if you sell them, if you compete on price, if your only advantage is price, you become transactional, and then people will price shop you, all right? A gallon of ice cream, how much? Well, it's $4 at this store, but $3.50 at the other store. It's the exact same brand and the flavor. But when there's an ice cream truck go by with the music, and kids will run out. You will run out to go get the ice cream. It's $4 for a scoop. Where do you think he got it from? The same supermarket that you got it from. All right? You look at his freezer, it's the same bucket, it's the same brand, same packaging, but it's $4. And you have the same gallon, the exact same ice cream in the freezer, in your kitchen. But you would run out and get ice cream. Why? I just want to let that sink in for a while, okay? If you want to get coffee, you can make them at home. It'll cost you 10 cents a cup. So why would you go to some trendy brand name coffee store, drive there, park your car, stand in line, and then order coffee for $7 for a cup, and you do it twice a day? Why do people do that? Why do you do that? Think about it. All right, look into it. I want you to think about it. I want that to sink in and let you think about it. Next time you go grocery shopping, okay, or next time you go to Home Depot, take a look at the merchandises that other people buy, the kind of things that you will never, ever buy. And then think about it. Why would the other person buy that thing? Okay? Don't give up, huh? These people are crazy. I will never buy that. No. They have already bought it. So there must be a reason that why they're buying it. There must be some kind of a satisfaction they're gaining, some kind of a pleasure they're gaining, and some kind of a pain they are avoiding. Allow me to drop you a clue, all right? Everything we do as human, everything we do as living creatures, I don't care if you're Homo sapien or cats and dogs, everything we do it for either one or two reasons. Either to gain pleasure or to avoid pain. Either to gain pleasure or to avoid pain. And then people who are successful, people who have their lives in order, they practice a counterintuitive habit, which is they've been practicing this following since childhood, which is endure short-term pain in exchange for long-term pleasure. And this is the key to how you are going to motivate other people. You want to figure out what is the long-term pleasure they are seeking and what is the long-term pain they would do anything to avoid. And then you're just going to drop hint about it. And that's how they get inspired. This is how you inspire people. They realize, whatever this thing that my boss is proposing, this is good for me. This is going to help me to achieve what I have always wanted to achieve in the long run. This is in line with my long-term goal. That's why I'm going to do this. No matter what the short-term pain is, if I have to climb Mount Everest, I will do it because this is going to help me to accomplish my long-term pain, my long-term goal, and avoid my long-term pain. Another challenge faced by a lot of you leaders today is you haven't been introduced into this line of thinking. And you'll be trying to motivate employees using what you thought out to inspire them, to motivate them. You're not using what's going to motivate them. You've been using either what motivates yourself or what you assume is going to motivate them. One of my coaching clients is a manager in the high-tech industry. They make hardware. They make electronics that go into satellites. And he is managing a team of 10 engineers/scientists. Many of them got bachelor, master, and PhD in electronics or in physics. And all of his employees, all 10 of them, are millennials. And he is like 20 years older than his employees, than his team. And like I said, out of the 10, only one of them is problematic. He is kind of just lethargic, okay? He does deliver mediocre to good work, but he's always late delivering his projects. And he's always late coming to work. And then he would just say those inappropriate things during business meetings, like, I'm the screw up here or whatever. The young man is just, for whatever reason, just not passionate, not motivated. He's just having trouble, metaphorically speaking, getting out of bed in the morning. He may really have trouble getting out of bed in the morning. And of course, just like everyone else, he has a cell phone addiction. He's addicted to the apps on his cell phone, all right? So this coaching client asked me to help him, okay? So I taught him what I just taught you during the beginning of this webinar. And then I asked him to go figure out what is it that this millennial employee of his, he wants. He can't live without. What is it that he's so afraid to happen to him? Or he'll do anything to avoid that from happening to him. What is it that he would kill to get? And he says, how am I supposed to get that information? Well, I told him, you might want to write this down. I call this the secret power of casual conversation. The secret power of casual conversation. Just let them talk. Okay? In a casual conversation, you don't want to interrogate people. So, for example, okay, what not to do? At 9:30, you go to your employees. Johnny is cubicle. I go, Johnny, we need to talk. So 4:30, come to my office. We need to talk. The way you speak to him, did you just ruin his whole day? Yeah, you just ruined his whole day, right? He'll probably be sending a text to his family saying, don't spend any money today, probably getting fired at 4:30 today. Had it been me, I'll just go work on my resume all day long because I don't care anymore, okay? And 4:30, come to the office. You set up your office like interrogation, and you have a clipboard full of questions. You go, Johnny, I got some questions here for you. I want to learn about you. I'm the most loving and caring manager you will ever meet. All right? You understand? Good. So I got some questions here for you. I want you to answer me honestly and truthfully. Question number 1. Where do you see yourself going 5 years from today? If you ask him, question him, interrogate him like this, do you think he's going to tell you how he truly feels? No, he won't. He will tell you a whole bunch of hot air, sweet nothing. Things that he thinks he out-OUGHT to say in those circumstances. All right? If you're so naive, you write it down and you start managing him based on the facts that he gave you, you two are going to be butting heads. The opposite approach is casual conversation. Okay? Allow me to illustrate. So let's say I'm a brand new manager. I got hired from outside. Monday, I come to work. I meet everyone and shake hands. Tuesday, I come to work, 8:45. I'm 15 minutes early. I park my car. And I open my car door. I hear a car coming by. That sounds like a car I used to own. And then the car parks 2 spaces down. I look. It's a Subaru. And then the door open. And I go, hey, don't remember me. It's Scott, right? He goes, hey, great memory. Yeah, Michael, new boss. Good morning. How are you? And I go, Subaru? WRX? You got turbo? Okay, you got stick shift? Oh, by the way, why do you have an out-of-state license tag? And he's going to say, oh, yeah, this is the Subaru. I got turbo, and I got all-wheel drive. This is a stick, and I bought this thing right after my college graduation. You're not going to believe the POS I had to drive when I was undergrad. So as soon as I graduated, I got a job, and I was able to qualify for a loan. This is the thing I bought. And we just moved back here and from Colorado, and that's where I went to college and bought this car. I got my first job, and I used to do donuts in the snow. Oh, I love this. And as a matter of fact, that's how I met my wife. And we're having twins, and she's from here, so we moved back here so she can be closer with her family when the kids get here. And we are very excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to be a daddy. I'm going to have 2 kids right away. And my wife is saying that we need to shop for car seats. And then she's now thinking, this car, this little Subaru, it might be too small for 2 kids. So she started talking about a minivan. I think I'm just too young to be driving a minivan. I'm not even 30 years old. So that's a very quick casual conversation. It's not even about work. It's all about cars, right? We're talking about cars, and we're working in the office. So he goes to his cubicle. I go to my office. During that quick and short conversation, right, it appears to be much ado about nothing. And did I make him feel like he was under interrogation? No. I made him feel like I'm down to earth. I talk about what appears to be nothing. But in reality, what did I learn? I learned a lot. All right. For those of you who studied computer science, information technology, right, criminal justice, military intelligence, what did they tell you about raw data, right? Information. You gather raw data. From raw data, you gather information. And from information, you gather military intelligence. Okay? I gather a whole bunch about Scott. I know about his marital status, right? He's got 2 kids coming, and he got this car. And then my military intelligence is I'm 99.99% sure he's going to have a new car payment coming up because she said so. Okay? Who makes purchasing decisions? All big businesses understand this, right? Within a household, purchasing decisions is made by the female. Okay, this is, let's say if you're a realtor, right? If you're selling a house to a couple, okay, you sell the house to the wife and you sell the mortgage to the husband. Same thing with selling a car. Every large business understand this. That's how they are so successful at selling to consumers. Large ticket consumer items, the purchasing decision is made by the female, not the male. And so I'm 99.99% sure he's gonna have a new car payment coming up. Okay. He got rent or maybe mortgage to pay, and the wife is highly likely not working and not going to be working for a while. And he got 400 miles to feed, baby diapers to buy, milk formulas to buy. All right. So when there's weekend overtime coming up, who do you think is highly likely to be standing in front of me and insisting on I give the overtime to him, as opposed to I go to some great grandpa and say, hey, great grandpa, weekend overtime, make sure you're here. Great grandpa's going to say, no, young Michael, this weekend I'm taking my great grandchildren, all 10 of them, to the county fair. I'm not coming. What? Am I fired? Oh, don't worry about it. I don't care. But with Scotty, right, he needs the cash, right? So he's going to be standing right in front of me, demanding I give the overtime to him. This is what I mean by the secret power of casual conversation, okay? You let people tell you the things that you can't interrogate, and then you use that information to figure out how to use that to motivate them because you know what they want and what they don't want, all right? So, but by the way, there's one more thing I want to tell you. That is, let's say if you manage 10 people, all right, you need to spend, let's say, 5 minutes per employee per week. So that's 15 minutes per week, not even an hour. Just engage in what appears to be meaningless casual conversation. What appears to be meaningless, right? It's a water cooler conversation. This is how you gather information, gather military intelligence, because so much of what's causing them to want to come to work, give you a day of good or bad performance is because of something else going on domestically or in their lives. All right. Now, you might ask me, one of the questions I always get with this is, oh, what if I'm busy? What if they're busy? What if there's a no chit-chat policy in the office? Great. Utilize it. Okay. Cut it short. How do you think people will feel? They feel you're busy, but you took time to listen. What is everyone's favorite topic? It's themselves. Everybody's favorite topic is themselves, right? So on Monday, ask them, how was their weekend? Oh, this past weekend, I put in a sprinkler together. Oh, I've never done it. Tell me all about it. Oh, on a Friday, ask them, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, boss, funny you should ask. My mother-in-law is coming to town from Texas. Do you have any overtime by any chance? Whatever policy, whatever is happening, utilize. All right, there's no such thing as good or bad. It's all how you utilize it. What if your conversation is interrupted? Utilize. Let me ask you this. All right, when they put a TV show on TV or a classic movie on TV, where in the plot line do they cut for a commercial? At a cliffhanger, right? So you come back, right? So utilize it. Okay. So let's say they're telling you about whatever baseball. Now you tell them, look, I know nothing about baseball, but do tell me. Okay. They love it. And they will tell you because it's their favorite topic. And then as they started talking, somebody tapped you on the shoulder and say, hey, boss, the factory is on fire. So you got to run off. So before you run off, you go, oh, I don't want to hear about baseball, but I got to run. Until next time. So you run off, right? 2 days later, you saw them at the water cooler. So you just decided to become thirsty. So you will cozy up to the water cooler. You go, hey, Johnny, Scotty, whatever, Josh, you were telling me about baseball 2 days ago. Oh my God, they love you. They love you because you remembered. It's not you love baseball, you don't love baseball. It's you remembered that's their most passionate story. That's how you win brownie points with people. And that's how you get people to tell you their biggest secrets, their cravings, their wants, their don't wants. All right. So I taught my coaching client this philosophy and this technique. And then, so he utilized it. Got a lunch with this guy and just, this is not something you sit in the office and have a formal conversation. The more formal the conversation, the harder it is to get it out of people. The more informal the conversation, the more casual the conversation, the more likely you're going to get this kind of information out of your employees. Finally, he reported to me he figured it out. Turns out that, sure, this guy has a PhD, but he has always graduated dead last in his class. And all his classmates are working for prestigious institutions, having prestigious jobs. And he has, relatively speaking, compared to all his friends, the job with the least amount of prestige. Okay, it makes sense because my coaching client, the manager, continued to tell me that at this company, so they created this position because of need, but then due to budgetary concerns, they just simply do not have the budget to go hire a top-notch scientist. And because of their small budget, they hired the guy they hired. And even though his performance is mediocre, he cannot afford to terminate this one employee. And he certainly cannot afford to let the employee find out that he cannot be terminated. Because if he terminates this employee, the work is going to be delayed until they hire the next person. And given the budgetary constraint, whoever they hire is not going to be top-notch. The top-notch is going to be at least 2 times the money. All right? So with all this casual conversation, my client found out this is the one thing that his employee is most afraid of and would kill to obtain, which is to show off to all his friends that I am somebody too. He would kill to go to a scientific conference, right? Get on stage to deliver some kind of a scientific paper and using the work that he's doing at his current place of employment. It would be the most prestigious thing, and he can show it to all his friends. Give him the middle finger, essentially. Look, don't you look down on me. All right, I too can do good, solid scientific work. I too can go to a highly prestigious science conference and deliver a solid piece of paper. So I said to my coaching client, the manager, congratulations, that was good work. So you got it out of him. And then what's the next step? The next step is how do you utilize this piece of crucial information, the insight you've gained about your employee, to get him to be motivated, to make him want to increase his performance? Well, you got to drop hint, and help him to realize at this place, this is the perfect place to help him to get what he wants. And his boss, my client, is here to help him to get him what he wants within a year, within 2 years. However, if he goofs off, if he screws things up, he's going to ruin his chance, and he's going to be fired, and he's going to have a hard time finding employment elsewhere, and his biggest fear will come true. That is, he's going to become the biggest laughingstock of all his friends who are going places, who are somebody in the world of high-end engineering and scientific research and so on and so forth. And he's going to be laughed at, and he's going to feel really, really bad about himself. So the carrot and the stick, the long-term pain, short-term pain, long-term pleasure, short-term pleasure. And then the next thing to do is to set up small incremental steps. For example, your next project, if you deliver it on time, then maybe the boss and you two will say, go to a scientific conference together at the company's expense, travel, lodging, and the event cover charge. You got to have little carrot and little stick every step of the way. This is all based on what's carrot and stick for him. All right. I've seen a cartoon whereby a animal trainer was trying to train a lion to jump over a hoop that's on fire, a ring of fire. All right. And then he's trying to motivate, entice the lion to perform the trick by dangling a actual carrot. All right. Actual carrot. This is a lion, not a rabbit. The lion is not a vegetarian. Actually, if you dangle the rabbit in front of the lion on the other side of the ring, the lion might go for it. All right. You get the metaphor? You got to dangle the right carrot for the right subject. Okay. And last time I heard, my client, the manager, is doing very well because his employee is steadily improving using this motivation technique that I've taught him. So if you're interested in learning this line of thinking, this kind of motivational technique, All right, I wouldn't even call it motivation. This is inspiration, figuring out what inspires them, what makes them go, oh, this is going to help me to get what I have always wanted. That's inspiration. They go, yes, this is the short-term pain, but I want to overcome this short-term pain because I want to obtain the long-term pleasure and avoid the long-term pain. That's when people are inspired to get off the chair, endure the pain, and to go for the long-term goal. Okay, so if you want to learn this kind of thinking, if you want to equip yourself with this line of thinking, this kind of skills to inspire your employees, if you want to equip yourself with the insight, the wisdom to figure out what motivates each and every individual, what's in it for me for each and every one of employees, I am here to help you with my one-on-one leadership training program. I would highly recommend you replace the word motivation with the word inspire or inspiration. For starters, think of the feeling when you say the word, I need to motivate them. They need to be motivated, right? It's kind of like it's their responsibility. But if you go, I'm going to inspire them, it's your responsibility, right? And then when you say they're motivated, it kind of implies there's an emotional implication that they're lazy. They are not motivated. But if you say they're yet to be inspired, that sounds like there's great potential. There's a fire to be started. We just have to light the match. Also, the notion of motivation is kind of tainted by the motivational speech industry. And here's a secret to the industry. They bring you in, right? They just liquor up, and play some music to pump you up, and I tell you it's all easy. It's all easy. Okay? You just have to do it. Just do it. Okay? Nike, just do it. You know that logo, just do it? It works on a third of the people who are already thinking about doing it. Right? They're looking for someone to actually start. The herd mentality. Okay? The 1/3 of people who are thinking about, I will never do it, go to the gym and sweat. Nah, pizza is better. Right? You know, now there are gyms, in order to attract people in, they offer free pizza. Sign up for a gym, free pizza. Just do it. It will never work on a third of people who don't want to do it. Right? And it has very little impact on whether you're in the middle or sitting on the fence. Right? And to the point that just do it is actually off-putting. It's turning off people who are sitting on the fence. To them, it's insulting. Okay? And so rah-rah motivational speech, get you all cheered up, get you all liquored up. Oh, it's easy, I'm going to go do it. They leave the hotel, get in the car. There's a whole bunch of cars trying to get out of the hotel. There's a traffic jam. Reality hit them in the face. Oh, it's hard. The trick to motivational speech is not to mention all the obstacles in reality. Okay? And also, a motivational speech, a motivational speaker is essentially someone who's coming up here to sing you a song. It's an act, right? It's highly practiced. It's like playing the piano. It's not even improvisation. The whole thing is like an actor acting. It's like a band singing. Okay? I'm pretty sure you don't do this, right? You hire a band, a boy band, come here sing a love song. Right? The singer is from Canada, he's 12 years old, right? You sing a love song, you go up to him and go, oh, that song is so beautiful about love, so here's my relationship problem. Do you ever go to a singer who sing a love song and ask them about relationship problems? You'll go like, my life is in a mess. I'm here just to sing you a song. Right? Don't forget to like and subscribe. So this way, when I release new educational videos, you will be notified and you will be the first to learn. And also, make sure you send this video to as many people as possible so we can all learn and grow together and help each other to grow together. We're in this together. And if you need private coaching, business consulting, or training, feel free to contact me. And my contact details are linked below.